talk about fairness in the job market, right? So, a lot of people are frustrated because they have the degrees, you have the certifications, you have the experience, and you're finding that even though you're curating your resume and submitting your application in a cold application, right? You're submitting your resume, you're not getting callbacks. And I guess my educated guess is that you think you can just submit your resume and the system will recognize your value. And if that's the case, you are wrong. We no longer live in a system where you submit your resume and that's it. In some instances, it does work, right? But for the most part, you need to put a little bit more legwork in there. How do I know this? I've lived it as a recruiter. I've lived it as a on the other side as someone who was looking for a job. And I've had to learn how to navigate the system from being overlooked, underestimated, and told the system would reward hard work. And then I was not rewarded, right? So I learned the new rules and now I want to teach them to you, right? If you're operating from an old script, let's update that because now you're competing with so many people. Obviously, you're competing globally. You're also competing with people who are very educated, people who have a lot of experience, right? So the very educated people, they've been told their whole life that they're the best. They have their high school diploma, they have their bachelor's degree, they also have the master's degree, and they're competing for jobs. And they just assume that because I have all these credentials, I will get a job. And they're pushing out applications. You have people who maybe did get a job and now have several different types of experiences under their belt. But we are in such a volatile economic space where people are getting laid off left and right. So now you have people who are highly educated, highly experienced, all submitting resumes. So what happens is you went from being someone in a small pool, right? Because at any given moment, you had a smaller number of people looking for jobs. Now you're in a big pool with everyone looking for jobs. So your resume can no longer just be good. It has to be bare minimum, great. So, how do we do that? Let's get into the three new rules of how to cut through the noise. Rule number one, your resume is a hook. So, in the same way, when you are scrolling on social media or when you get an email, you are looking to understand how is this going to solve my problem or how does this stand out? It's the same way for your resume. Your resume is a marketing document that tells very quickly to the hiring manager, to the recruiter, that you are able to solve their problems. How do you do that? Keyword matching, or some people know this as SEO. You bold your metrics, aka bold the impact that you've had. So you don't just say, I help clients do XYZ. You say, designed a new process that ended up saving the team 20% of time using Notion to document my process, or supported in process revamp, enabling clients to adopt a tool 30% quicker than previous, right? You're showing your impact, and your impact always has to point to some major things. How are you saving time? How are you saving money? How are you making money for the company? Right? As long as you can do this, I think we need to understand that your resume, the interview process is not about you, it's about whoever's hiring you, right? So bold your metrics on your resume. That is you showing your receipts. And then at the very top, a lot of people usually do objectives, but here's the thing. I know you know we all know that you're looking for a job. Don't tell me that in the objectives. In the objectives, rather, use it as a space, as prime real estate, as your billboard to say, these are things I've done in my past. This is why I am the best version or the best person for this job. Here's my value proposition. And share that boldly, loudly at the very top of your resume. So now that's how to optimize your resume. If you still need a visual or something to walk you through, I have a link in below that will walk you through three different types of resume. They're all free, they're very detailed, so you can pick whichever one speaks to you. Rule number two, you must get noticed. So now when you just submit your resume, which I still think you need to submit your resume, you also need to attach that with other things, right? Now that you're in the portal, make sure that you're using LinkedIn. You're going to events, you're emailing people. What this does is that it puts you in front of the decision makers, right? It puts you in front of the people who actually get to say, "Oh, I want to hire a human. This is a human replying and they actually care, so let me reach out to them." And this makes you stand out. You become like the red, the green, the pop of color resume in the sea, right? So connect with humans, not portals. Rule number three, your value is your core content. And what this means is that you have built a specific set of knowledge over the course of your career between just who you are, what you intrinsically know, the jobs that you've done, the experiences that you've had, the mistakes you've made, the wins that you've had. So now you have a very specific value proposition. So as you're reading through job descriptions and you pick like that one job title that you really want to do, you now understand very clearly what problem you're solving, right? So if you're a customer success manager, maybe that's the type of roles that you're going for, you deeply understand that your job is to make sure that customers do not leave. And if anything, they keep actually buying more and more licenses or more and more of the product. If you understand that, then every time you meet someone, you're always able to share your value of based on my work and based on just who I am. Every time I work with customers, I see that not only do they stay, they give us a high rating and bring other people in, and or year over year, they're increasing their spend with us. You're solving a company's problem. How? If you remember what I said above, you're making them more money. Okay. And you're saving them time because they don't have to train you to do this. Right? So those are the three rules of success in this job market. Is it fair that you have to do all of this? Probably not. The system probably should be easier, right? All of us have to work. None of us were born saying like, I can't wait till the day that I have to work. Like, no, the system is made this way. So you would think the system will also help us out a little bit, but it doesn't. So you have two options, right? At this point, you can either stay a passive consumer, scrolling, applying, complaining the ATS is rigged and you're getting no results, or you can become a creator of your own opportunities. You can say, okay, I'll take this time to learn the rules, bend them to my will, and actively build the career that I want, the life that I want, right? Because it's no longer about a job, it's about how do I build a lifestyle that allows me the time, the location, the financial freedom to live in joy, to have fun, to have that childlike wonder again, rather than being so stressed by whether it's like the duties of the job or the lack of paycheck or whatever it is that ties you down with the job, right? We don't want that. So we want you to get a job and enjoy it. And that's why I teach this. That's why I'm fighting for this. So I just gave you the playbook. The choice is yours. The algorithm doesn't care about fair, but it does mean I just gave you the playbook. The choice is yours. The algorithm doesn't care about fairness, but that doesn't mean you have to play by its rules, right? If you're ready to create your own path, do two things right now. One, subscribe to this channel because I'm here to give you the right strategies that actually work. Two, click the link in the description to find out more about resume templates and other offers that I have to support you in your journey to make sure that you're living a joyful life, even if we still have to work. Okay. So I know what it's like to be overlooked. I've been overlooked quite a bit and I've had to learn the rules I can break through. And it's time for you to also break through. So join me along this journey. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and what you're struggling it with, and I'll make more content. All right. Thank you for watching.